I don't know where you are, but I'd love to hear where you're from. Andrew.
I'm with you, Ed.
Right. Well, that's good. I was making sure you were also here.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, before we get into that, Ed, I just want to say hello to everyone. Thanks for coming on the site. I'm in a fantastic mood today. Just had a
Ooh.
cup of coffee,
Good.
a great sleep. The alarm clock broke, which actually allowed me to sleep for 10 hours. I know Ad doesn't like that one. But one of the benefits of living in China is, well, for foreigners anyways, you get to have a maid. And we've got one, and she just came. Although, Ad, what do you think about her job lately?
Well, it hasn't been as good as could be, but the problem, I think, is we haven't been telling her what to do.
Yeah, I know. Well, she's a really nice lady, so I don't want to, get too upset with her.
Oh,
but
definitely not.
I've hired her for 2 hours. She comes in for 2 hours each time, and lately she's been staying for about 1 hour and just leaving with a few dirty cupboards.
Oh.
But we'll talk to her. She's a good girl. Yeah, anyway, back to the lesson. Today we're talking about how to describe people.
Right. What kind of person are you? What kind of person is your friend?
Yeah, so if you're just trying to describe people, and I've noticed as a teacher just listening here, people speaking English as a second language often don't really use the best words to describe people. So I've picked out about 10 good ones.
I know often on the internet you see you go on a website and you see their profile and it'll say something like, "Oh, I'm a sunny girl," or something like this. Like, we don't say that.
Yeah, good point, Ed. Yeah, so things like, I've seen a lot of people say, "I am a sunny girl," or warm-hearted, or kind-hearted. We never ever say those three things.
Well, I certainly don't say that. I'm certainly not a sunny girl, if you were wondering.
So just in case you wanted to know, unless you're trying to be funny, if you say you're a sunny person or a warm-hearted or kind-hearted, you sound like you're about 3 years old. Really?
You're right. That I'm not arguing here.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to be mean to any of these people, but just so you know, it really does. You do sound like a child.
Well, you
So-
sound like a non-native speaker.
Yeah, that's true. But if you didn't know, that's what you'd think.
Right.
What's a good word to use to describe that then? If you are a sunny
Well,
girl,
so you're a happy person, you can even say.
you're optimistic, you're a positive person.
You're a fun, easygoing person, right? You like to have a good time.
Yeah, you're easy. Well, fun, I'd say, or positive person. If you want to use a better word, you could say a
Sure.
positive person.
Okay, in one word.
Yeah,
Right.
so a positive person is someone who looks on the bright side of a situation. So you're often in a good mood regardless of the circumstances. So even on a rainy day, you're still happy. This is what I imagine you mean by a sunny girl, but
I know. Well, we can.
person-
Yeah, you're comparing yourself to a sun, bright and shiny person, right? We understand where you are as a sunny girl.
Yeah, so if you're a positive person, then you're looking for the good in a situation.
Right. Something goes good. Of course, if things are going well, of course you're happy. But if things don't go so well, you can look for the positive aspects and think about how you can change them and get things to be in a better place.
Very nice.
Yep,
Ad.
yep.
I like that. Okay. All right. Another word. This is not as commonly used, but I think it's a good one to know.
It is.
Apathetic.
Right.
If you want to sound a little bit more sophisticated.
Well, I hope no one calls me apathetic.
But it's a good word. Apathetic, Addy boy, is someone who is unemotional or uninterested in something. Okay, so you're usually apathetic about certain things. So someone might be apathetic about politics, for example, or apathetic about improving their lives. They just don't really care.
Right. They're not very excited, right? They're just sort of going through the motions, as we say.
Yeah, they're doing it, but they're not really caring.
They're not
about
into it, right? They're not.
apathetic.
Well, I think
don't
they
know.
are apathetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there might be a word. If you can, the users can tell me the word. How about
Yeah,
that?
go on the forum and talk to us. I'm lonely without the people. And
Okay.
welcome to everybody. Welcome to everybody who's been on the forum and said hello lately. It's really made my day. I feel like a sunny girl today because of what you've said.
Wow.
Well, not quite.
I hope you don't tell too many. We'll keep that between us and the listeners, Andrew.
Yeah, that's a secret. Don't tell anyone that. Okay. Here's a question. I'm going to form it as a question this
Good
time.
one. Shoot.
If a person who changes their mood frequently. So they're in a good mood 1 minute and all of a sudden they're in a bad mood. What do you call this kind of character? What is
Moody.
Moody.
I've noticed that some people also describe this as a changeable person. You don't say a changeable. They're moody. I've heard this many times.
Oh, people, yeah. Say moody. Moody's a great word. It's just talking about the person, they're in a good mood and all of a sudden they change. It's not a nice way to describe someone being moody. Of course, everyone changes their mood from time to time, but being moody is really describing someone who easily can become in a bad mood.
Right, or something. Nothing even really happened. And one time they're in a great mood, really happy. You look 5 minutes later, nothing even really happened. They're really angry or very sad or just bossy or just yelling at you for some reason.
Yeah, so just say, don't be so moody. You're
Right.
acting like a little baby.
Right, I'm
again.
going to call you Mr. Moody over there, you might say.
Mr. Moody. Good one. Or Miss Moody. A lot of women
Or
are,
Ms., for that matter.
Yeah, a lot of women are moody, so they can be that as well.
Right, but I've been saying negative words for the women, so I wanted to use one for the guys, just to show that you can also use this for
Okay.
guys as well.
Questioning. I like this questioning thing. I got another one.
Okay, shoot, Andrew.
Someone who is saying things like, I can't believe you don't know how to do that. Something like that.
Right.
Or they're acting like they think they're better than other people.
Oh, you think you're better than me? Oh, I see.
They've got this attitude like they're the best ever.
Okay, so you're probably a very arrogant person, I'm guessing.
2 for 2, add arrogant.
Yep.
Great words. So
Luckily,
someone-
I have my sheet right here with the words on them.
Mhm. So if you're arrogant, you're just it's a feeling that you give off, that you think you're better than everybody.
Right.
You're smarter than everyone. You're very arrogant. You just think you're great. Okay. Not a good word, of course. This is used in a bad way. It's not being a confident person. Confidence is okay. Confidence is a good thing.
Right, it's good to think you're good, but it's bad to think you're better than other people and
Especially
putting them
for
down.
no reason. And especially if you act like you think that.
Right.
That's what arrogant is. It's
Right.
acting like you think you're better, which is
Right, you're
not
talking to someone, you might not even really be listening to them because you think you're better than them, and it's obvious. So that's very rude to do this. Okay, good. Next one, we are talking about someone who is complacent.
I've never heard anyone who's a non-native English speaker use this word, so I wanted to kind of share it with everybody. Complacent means you're content to a fault, which means you're very easily satisfied with something and you don't even want to improve it. That's the fault part. So it's good to be satisfied with things and be happy, but this means even if things aren't very good, you don't even want to make them better. So it's talking about someone who has very little motivation to improve certain things is complacent.
So you're not a very ambitious person, are you?
You're not very ambitious. So if you're happy doing okay in school, you're doing okay. Not your best. You're not trying your hardest, but you're doing okay. That's complacent. If you're happy with that and you don't want to improve that.
Right, just happy being somewhere in the middle or even below the middle.
Happy being not your best.
Mm-hmm.
In not a good way. Complacent.
Right. The next one, we talk about someone who is snobby.
Yeah, adds English accent.
Right.
Very
'Cause
good.
a typical English stereotype is someone who is a little bit snobby, who thinks, they only the best for them. Right?
Yeah, so snobby is someone who's snobby. They really don't want to talk to anyone who they think is in some way inferior to them or worse than them in some way.
Right. For example, people are often snobby with the way they look and the clothes that they wear. If you're not wearing the new, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like in Shanghai, we're living in Shanghai. Shanghai is a very, very snobby city, I'd have to admit. A lot of nice people,
Well, big
but
cities are snobby, right?
big
in
cities,
general.
Sometimes, yes, they are, more often. But here is very snobby. I have to admit, there are a lot of nice people, but sometimes you feel you're being judged by the snobby people. They don't want to talk to anyone who they feel is worse than them.
In
And you
some
can just-
way.
In some way. So you can just tell. Like, okay, so for example, I've got a cell phone that's it's one of the worst that money can buy, as they say. I bought it from Care4 because I don't really see the advantage of a better one. But anyway, sometimes I get the feeling in Shanghai that when I pull it out to make a phone call or receive a message, people are taking a look at me and thinking, why does he have such a cheap cell phone?
Right.
Or, if someone's looking at someone else's clothes and saying, oh, I don't like their clothes, I don't even want to talk to them because I think I'm in a higher class.
Right. I think I'm better. More sophisticated.
You only live in that place? I can't believe it.
Ooh.
You don't have a BMW?
Right,
That's very
exactly.
snobby, this attitude. It's obviously a horrible word.
Right.
It's a horrible quality.
Right. If you're a snobby person, you will be called a snob.
Yeah. You could just say, don't be such a snob, or stop being so snobby, or you're acting like a snob.
Right. Hopefully you're just acting like a snob and you're not actually a snob. That happens sometimes.
The next one coming up is a wonderful word.
Well, don't tell them what it is. I just wanted to tell a quick story, actually. I just thought of something. I just wanted to tell everyone that I just found out that Bill Gates is actually my father.
Really?
Yes, that's a true story.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, it's actually pretty exciting, and I'm actually moving with him very soon, and I'm going to take my millions and billions very soon.
Wow, so you're all of a sudden very rich.
That's correct. And it's interesting because I always thought we were brothers, and now I found out that we're not anymore.
Wow.
So interesting.
Okay, so Ad's point here with this lovely story is, if I were to be so stupid to believe it.
I hope you listeners didn't believe that, and you're not stupid if you did, because I tell a very convincing story.
Yeah. But the point of this was, if I was stupid enough to believe it, I would be called, and here's the word, gullible.
Right. So if you believe things easily just because someone tells you them, really.
If you're easily tricked or fooled, you're very gullible.
Okay, good.
If I told you I was the president of a small country and you said, really? That's ridiculous. So you're
Right.
gullible.
Right.
Right?
So
You believe things easily. Next word,
pushy.
pushy. Another bad quality. Okay? If someone's trying very hard to make you believe something or try to sell you something, make you change into something you don't want to do, and they keep pushing, they're called pushy.
They certainly are.
And who's often described as pushy?
Salesmen.
Salesmen.
People trying to sell you something that you don't want.
Excuse me, sir, you should buy this.
Hello, DVD?
Yeah, do you want to buy this? No. Oh, come on, it's really good for you. Just have a look. No, thank you. That's just being pushy, okay?
Right.
They just keep trying to get me to
No,
do
but you
something.
want it. Yeah, they tell you that you want it, even though you just said that you didn't want it.
They're begging you and keep going with the same thing. Pushy. Don't be pushy.
Good. Next one we have indifferent.
Indifferent. Great. This is a lot of great words here. Indifferent. Okay, you got to know how to use this one. It means you don't have an opinion about something and you really don't care about it. You don't want to have an opinion about it,
Right.
basically.
You don't want to even think about this at all.
If someone asks you, hey, what do you want for dinner tonight? Would you rather have Japanese food or Indian food? You could say, and let's suppose you don't care at all. You could say, you know what? I don't care. I'm indifferent.
Right. Either way, either is fine.
I'm not even going to think about it.
You decide.
You decide. I'm indifferent. I don't care one way or the other.
Right. So if the other person would like it at all, going to either more, decide on that one. Don't worry about
So
it.
if you don't care about something one way or the other, you're indifferent towards that thing.
Right.
Excellent. Last one. This is a funny one. I wanted to add kind of a funny slang term at the very end here, Ad.
Okay, good.
And a lot of young people use this one, I've heard. I don't use it.
I don't use it that often because I like to sound pretty sophisticated, as I'm sure the listeners have noted.
Very good. The word is chill. CHILL. It's very, very slang, and it's talking about someone who is cool. You're describing a cool person. They handle things quite smoothly in social situations.
And very calmly and relaxed, right?
They don't make a big deal about little things. They just relax. Nothing.
Right, he's really chill.
Yeah, oh, you'll like him. He's a really chill guy.
You
Or
could-
she's a really chill chick.
You can also use it in this way, though. Like, I'm chilling at my friend's place right now. That means I'm just hanging out with my friend.
Yeah, what are you doing? Oh, we're just chilling.
We're
Even
just
though it's-
relaxing.
Even though it's chilling, we say chillin'.
Again.
Which again brings up some of our old lessons. I hope everyone's going back into the
Oh,
archives
I'm sure they are, Andrew.
and listening to the whole set of lessons because they're on there for you.
Right, so get on the website. I know you have been, and it's been great. And continue to go on there because we are going to keep adding more and more things as you request them, as we like to do.
Let's make a deal. You tell your friends about this website and we'll focus on making better lessons and more of them.
I think that's a great deal.
Great.
Sign me up. Where do I sign up?
See you on the website, on the forum. I'd love to read your stuff. Thanks again. It really has made my day. That's enough talking.
All right, guys.
www.china232.com